Don't spill it on your computer. That's the number one rule. Oh, cool. You do have wine. Good job.
Hey, okay. I think we're actually live. So here's cheers to the week. Can you guys see it?
Yeah, we did it, you guys.
Cheers.
Thank you guys all for being here. Those that are showing up and sticking out, sticking in there with us all the way through to the very, 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 very end. If you have any comments, any thoughts, any feedback, any yeehaws, again, I'm from Texas. You can say yeehaw if you want. And let us know in the discussion notes. I would love to hear them. All right, guys, do you have a favorite session, a favorite moment, a favorite something that happened over the last 5 days? Crickets? Yeah, I
mean everything. We loved it all, obviously. Duh.
I was just waiting for y'all to talk, but
Go ahead, Olivia.
I loved Elise's talk. Show me the money, honestly, because the money is always a very difficult conversation. And what she made was that she just makes it into a conversation. You know, she turns it into a conversation about you and just a negotiation of your relationship with your client. And I think it's one of the most important things any freelancer could really learn. The money just translates into, it's just a part of the relationship. It's not all that is there towards the relationship. And I think she does a great job of driving that. I love that. Yeah. So go rewatch that if you haven't.
Yeah, I had a hard time. It's like every day I said, oh, wait, that's my favorite. Then the next day, oh, wait, that's my favorite. So I got to go back. I do want to go back because I actually got to see a good number of them because I'm, up here visiting with kids and grandkids. Right. So I didn't have anything else to do. So I got to see a good number, but I got to go back and look at them, and I got to watch that cryptocurrency probably 2 more times before I get
Honestly, that was my favorite one, not going to lie. And it's not because she was from my city or any of that, or it's not because she's one of my closest friends. It's just, none of that has nothing to do with it. So Jackie, if you're listening, it has nothing to do with that. I'm just kidding. It's just very informative. And when we talk about the future of freelance, like that's part of it. I mean, a lot of the other stuff, like as much as we love it, like sales, networking, relationship building, it's always been there. It's about enhancing that. And like we said, like the intention. But when it comes to the future is really stuff that we don't really, that's just coming around or that we don't even know exists yet. And of course, like the ProAct is a part of that too. So that was a great, oh my gosh. So I guess that's like up there.
That was a great one too.
It was spectacular.
The 100 Freelancers Talking Money was pretty awesome today.
That was really good.
I gotta go back and watch it.
That was really good. I made some connections in there too.
Heck yeah.
Oh, cool.
I mean, speaking of transparency, that's as good as it gets.
Yeah, she would like to do that in person at the freelance conference one of these years. So, yeah.
Nice. That would be
wonderful.
Michaela, I'm so proud of you. You did so great. I hope you're hanging in.
Thank you. I am definitely hot this afternoon, and then the weather here in Austin is not the greatest, but it's still manageable. I will say this week. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, if you just put 50 caladiums in the ground, you're super excited that it's overcast and rainy today.
Yes.
Go ahead. Sorry, I interrupted.
And actually, I think at one point I was like, I hope they don't hear this thunder in my background. But I love the burnout talks. I really love between Jess on Tuesday and Chloe just now. The burnout talks were awesome. They gave a lot of great tidbits, tips, tricks, things to use. To me, that was fantastic that I plan to incorporate. And I loved like how Chloe hit on topics of the hustle culture. That like blew my mind where I was like, yes, somebody's finally talking about this because there's so many people out there saying, oh, you should do this or you should do that and you should do the other. And it's crazy. And y'all know I'm all about health and wellness, and there's nothing good about that health and wellness wise. So it's like, we should not burn ourselves out that way. How do we work 18-hour days and then just constantly have 6 hours of sleep? That's not sustainable.
Well, honestly, Michaela, you and I do this. We don't wake up early. We don't wake up to an alarm. Like if that, I have to go back and watch those, but like that's my number one. Like I just don't. We shouldn't have to. I mean, we might stay up till 3 a.m. But like,
I'm glad we had speakers to actually talk about that this week. because it's true. Freelancers feel like they have to put so much time and so much of their day into their business without self-care. And self-care should be super important.
Absolutely.
It's been a big lesson for me especially the last year. I mean, I joined Lifetime, you know this, about in December. And I work out, well, usually this week I didn't do it obviously, but I usually work out about 5 times a week. I'm up to swimming 500 meters. I couldn't believe it. I was like, yes, I can
It's
do that.
insane.
Yeah,
Swimming is
so-
the best. Swimming it's the best.
It really is. Oh my God, I love it so much.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. I was just going to say, full transparency for me. I've been so freaking busy this week between this Women's Business Week and my own work and teaching and whatever else is going on, that aside from my own presentation and hosting Elisa's and all the panels,
Yeah,
And hosting the panel, no big deal.
Yeah,
You killed. That was amazing.
Yes, my weekend is
No
going to be
pressure.
filled with watching replays. But yeah, the ProAct panel, y'all, I'm so inspired to go do something about this now. And I'm thrilled that we were able to find very knowledgeable people on the subject matter to come in and talk about this, because I feel like too, there's so many different freelancers out there who have no clue that this is even on the table, that this could potentially happen. So for us to educate them, to shine a light on them, and then, kind of boost advocacy. Yeah. And Emily, you started the Legion of Freelancers, which is awesome. Everybody go join.
That was really funny.
Yeah.
I was like, who's in? I'm
That
like,
was
is it?
Emily's
I feel like
favorite.
we're in. Like we don't even
We're
need to
all
answer
in.
anymore.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a given.
If we can all bond together and do something and have some sort of united voice, I think we'll just be the stronger for it,
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I'm super excited to see where the whole thing goes. Like that friend of mine, Azariah, she was on the panel too. She called me and she's like, "So what is this?" I said, "I don't know."
You're like, I don't
It's
know.
right-
Just did it.
Right now, it's a domain connected to on the Hending page to see if anybody else even cares. That's what it
And
is
that's the
right
thing
now.
about what we do and what we tell people all the time when they're like, oh, I don't know if I should do it. Should we do it? And you were over there making a URL and an email campaign on the fly. Like that's
Totally.
what we do. Like you want to do it, like you've got to go and you got to do it. And it'll work. It's going to work. People already joined. So
Yes.
Yeah, we got
did
about
it.
40 people on the list right now.
I love the comment over here about the female representation. Kevin and Livio,
Yes.
thank you for being here. But seriously, guys, where are they? Like, where are
Yeah.
they? I know we're 60% of the work, of the freelancing workforce, but
Yeah.
I did, to that though, I did have a male speaker, which was amazing. So proud about that. But yeah, having more freelancing men would be great. I think maybe we, I don't know, maybe we do
Hey,
something
we're
with that.
just,
It'll definitely be a personal mission, but we'll
Yep.
see.
We're just late to the table. Take me, 62 years old, and I'm finally a freelancer. So
Well, welcome to the club.
Welcome to the club. We are happy to have you.
Yes.
well, thank you for allowing me to. This is my second year, and again, I truly am the baby freelancer among the group. And how long I've been doing it, and
Joe,
there she is.
Joe is in the house.
Joe's here. Joe, your hair has looked bomb all week. It's looked so good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. She's like, I know.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Told ya.
yeah. Joe, what were your favorite sessions this week?
I need to go and check the replays for a lot of the sessions. Yeah, we're on the same team. Yeah, but I really loved the one with Ali, Creatives Learn Law. I was like, especially, I'm a designer, so the slides were beautiful. I'm like, yes, I'm really interested in business law with the slides. So yeah, that was great. And I learned a lot of things. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that I had to do this. So that was my favorite one. And then with Marte from Miami, about being brave, because most of the times we think that to do brave things is something huge, but no, just saying no and standing up for the things that for your values, and little things, those are brave stuff. So
there's actually a book called I Am Brave that I read to my daughter every night. And it's literally this little book about this little girl. It's like, I am brave. She's like, I ate something green. She's like, I am brave. I looked under the bed. I am brave. And I'm like, and actually I make her say, after we read the book, I'm like, I am brave. I am smart. I am beautiful. I am strong. And she's like, well, Mom, it's your turn now. And I'm like, okay. Sure. So like you're right, like to that. That's very, very cool. I love it.
Well,
Yeah,
I
those
can tell
little
you that
reminders are important.
this note right here comes from Bruce Corman. So I know you're out there, Bruce, because
Love
he
it.
is the one
Yes.
person that has been to every single one of the freelance conferences.
Yes.
I want to say I met him. So hey, Bruce, if you haven't seen you in a while, what's up?
Sounds good. Yes.
Yeah.
No, I know there are out there, but there could be more.
It's true. I work, in my 45 years in corporate PR, I would tell you that probably 90% of my public affairs, public relations staff was female. And, I actually, I had a couple of guys that didn't work out. I'm just telling you.
Well, I wonder, looking at the Freelance Exchange here in Kansas City, like definitely it skews more female. Now there are men in the group and they do attend, but even looking at our volunteers and looking at our board, it's primarily women.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that says. Like, are we the ones who are more likely to jump in? And
I think it's like a societal thing,
Is it?
Of things that haven't, this is just my personal opinion, and I'm not saying not fathers, but, like just with mothers and fathers and our roles and the traditional setup that we are all kind of looking to fight, I think it's set us up to be this way. And moving into another conversation that maybe we can get into next year, I started working recently with the Military Spouse Chamber of Commerce. As a former military spouse, I have a lot of passion for that group. And they're primarily women, but they are spouses, of course, men and women. But just there was never any support. So I guess them as an example, there was never any support when I was freelancing and was a military spouse. Like there wasn't anything for that. And now military bases are building co-working spaces. Maybe Michaela, I don't know if you have any experience, have heard anything in your networks, but the forts are building co-working spaces and they're giving more resources to the spouses, male or female, to give them the opportunity to freelance. Like they didn't even know what that was. Like they're out there just trying to get jobs in cities every 3 years, and that's outrageous. So maybe we can do something with that.
It is definitely, to your point, improved, especially like Sam, he's very involved as a military spouse or prior. And it's a lot more benefits out there, and it has absolutely improved in that space so much before.
Good. It's getting better. It's not there yet, but it's getting better, just like with us. It's all a work in progress.
We'll say we got a lot of kudos for our national panel on Wednesday. Like that's good. A lot of feedback I've been receiving is our national panel. Like they loved how it flowed. They loved the topics we discussed and just how it all was presented. So just to let y'all know, I've been receiving a lot of feedback for the national panel.
Me too. It's funny because, and if they're watching now, it's totally okay. But after the ProAct panel, Julie, I know they said something about it stuck with me. It said, the SBA talking about how SBA supports small businesses and we are the smallest and they're not doing what they could be. And I love that was a very bold statement. It was really interesting because that morning before I watched the replay, I got a message from someone at the SBA.
Oh, really?
I was like, all right, hey, you know what? At least they're recognizing it, they're hearing it, they're seeing it. So we'll see where that goes. But no, I mean, I think the audience, we have a comment here that says the synergy among all the topics and just like us in general. I mean, we're pretty awesome. So our topics, our speakers are awesome. So thank you everyone that recognizes that. We work really hard.
I think it's really, it is nice when it all comes together, and we worked a lot on what the theme should be, and and I think we really did reflect the theme, and I think one thing played off the other thing, and I think in some cases purely by accident, the next talk built upon the previous talk. It just sort of happened that way. And then I think also for everybody out there watching, it's great. It's important to know that this is this team right here is just amazing, and just everybody jumping in and saying, look, I might be late coming on, can you cover for me, or can you do this for me, we just it's just this back end conversation we have through Teams. It's just we figure out a way to get everything done, which is it's just amazing. I love it. It's so different from the corporate world. So
well, the sheer amount of trust that's in that, that I know that I can just reach out and somebody's gonna pick it up for me and run with it. And I can trust that they're going to run with it in integrity. That's what I think is amazing about it.
Yeah.
Right.
Can we share? Does anyone have like? Did we have any? I don't know, like difficulties, issues, like our toughest challenges? Can we share that?
Yeah.
If anyone has
Yeah.
some, because I'm
Kick it
sure we
off.
have them, and I think people would love. Oh, you want me to kick it off? Because I have plenty.
Hey, it's your idea, man.
But I mean, I think that it's great to show that transparency, right? So for anyone who's still tuning into this or watching it after,
Or
throwing
wants
an
to
event
be on
like
the team
this,
next year.
please be on the team. That'd be great. Know that it's not perfect, right? So for me, kicking it off, my venue for my kickoff party had a construction emergency, and I had to find a new venue in 3 days. Thank goodness I love food and beverage, so I had all of the local restaurant, either bar managers or owners, in my phone. But that speaks to our communities and who we make relationships with, and you never know who, whatever. So I found a new one within 12 hours, so that was fantastic. We kicked off. Our event was wonderful. And then what was the other one? Oh, the back end, the tech work. It wasn't on anyone's fault. It was just the abilities within each system, and I had a volunteer have to step up and cover the production of some events, so I could go to City Hall and accept our proclamation for being, officially Freelance Business Week in Buffalo, which was I told her, I was like, I couldn't do this without you. She's actually my co-organizer next year. I looked at her and I was like, you're my core organizer next year. I was like, I'm not even asking. You're doing it. You earned it. It's so hard to find people that get it and just can get it done and just work well under fire. So that's me.
And it will make all the difference in your process next year, because I know you've done every year pretty much all on your own, which is cool. Kudos to you. But it's cooler and more fun. I know that, Julie, you had someone in the background as well. Me and Michaela got to work together. Joe and Livio get to work together. Kevin, you had somebody in the back end kind of helping out some too, or were you alone?
No, it was just me, myself, and I. But it was awesome working with Julie. And last year, Paula McDonald, who was one of my, who at that point was an independent PR practitioner, and then now she's with a big agency, so she's kind of different, direction now. But it was so great working with Julie, and we had a little bit of fun, of course, with our, now that Tampa is a legitimate big sports town. We had a little bit of fun with Tampa and Kansas City, and but it was a blast, Julie, working with you. And again, that was just a great solution, because I actually did, I was like, well, I'm going to do it all on my own this year. It'd be nice to have somebody. So it worked out well.
It did work out well. Thanks so much for letting us squeeze in with you on Thursday, and you were an excellent teammate. And thanks for giving us the coin toss, if you will.
Yeah,
I feel like any of our issues turned into blessings in disguise. So it's usually the case.
I was going to say, for us, first of all, huge shout out to my co-worker, if you will, Kate Bradshaw, behind the scenes, the Freelance Exchange of Kansas City Special Events Director, just knocked it out of the park, and unfortunately hasn't gotten a lot of credit here during Freelance Business Week because she has a full-time job and she's very busy.
Let's do it now. Credit.
So shout out to her. But yeah, Kansas City ran into a couple of challenges as well. Primarily, one of our speakers came down really, really sick this week, and we were worried she wasn't going to be able to make it, and she's still sick, unfortunately, but bless her heart, I don't know how she did it. She pulled through and pre-recorded her session, but she wasn't on camera at all, but her voice was fine. She pulled it off, and I'm inherently grateful. Kimberly Beer, if you're listening, you rock. You're awesome. Thank you.
Great presentation. It really was. And you'd never know, that she wasn't feeling well when she was doing that. So
she pulled it off. And then the only other glitch we had was actually her video accidentally got uploaded to Elise's page. So when Elise's presentation started and I gave my whole intro, which I rocked, by the way, but nobody got to see it because Kimberly's video was up there. So I'm
everybody's watching the replay will see it. Go ahead.
Yeah. Good. But I'm frantically emailing Emily behind the scenes help. So fortunately she was there. She was ready. She got it taken care of immediately. So yes, if you haven't checked it out, Elise Bennon, Show Me the Money, catch the replay. It's amazing. And also Kimberly Beer's Social Proof, her presentation on Social Proof.
I will say, since you said that, we definitely have to give a big shout out to Emily, because she worked so hard in the background with all the tech issues that we had. Because I don't know how many times I contacted her this week.
Where'd she go? Is she taking a big swig of that drink right now?
I know.
But
I only brought in one with
Just
me.
chugging it.
she was so
Cheers, Emily.
So I really appreciate Emily being in that background for us and taking care of any tech issue that came up, and like right in that moment she took care of it. So thank
Yeah.
you.
Yes.
You know what's crazy?
And
Is
major kudos. Go ahead. I was going to say major kudos on having an official freelance business week. That was just really
Oh my
exciting.
God, yeah. Like
That's
seriously,
just
Emily, can we just, we
huge.
all, I mean, Emily, you're amazing. I mean, I tell you every day you're life changing for me. So like,
Yes.
National Freelance Business Week 2022.
we got it.
Yes.
We got it, babies. Heck yeah.
That's awesome.
We rock.
So
You know, whatever.
you guys are fantastic. It wouldn't be what it is without each and every single one of you guys. And I mean, I love that we have so many more people interested in next year. We've already got meetings set up for next year. I mean, next week and the week after. So we've got some.
We've
cool
all gotten
stuff
something
happening.
out of all of this. We always do. And I always clear the calendar after this because that's what happens. So it's all very well deserved.
Yeah, and shout out to our Dallas and Denver counterparts. Who are
Yes.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Yes.
Yeah, I know that Alicia is literally, so what's funny is she, maybe not haha funny, but she said, I want to do this. I want to make sure this, Denver's on the map for this year. And so we, of course we made it as simple as we could for her this year because one, she was new, she came in kind of late. And so she took that on. And at the same time, her business like doubled in what was going on. So she was hiring freelancers and getting ready to move into her own office space.
Oh,
So
geez.
all that's going on. I mean, you just never know what's going on in the background.
You know what I love about Alicia is she wasn't afraid to ask for help. She did. She messaged me often. We're all not afraid. We're like, hey, we need help. Like, this isn't going to work.
Yeah.
And
Better to ask now than later because
amazing.
I think
So
I
the
think
perfect. Go ahead,
No.
Olivia.
I was just gonna say it's just a testament to like the nature of freelancers, right? Especially the more seasoned ones. It's like we know that like we're already busy because we already have like our own plans for the business, but at the same time, there's always something more they want to be doing. So you know what they say: if you want to get something done, just hand it off to a busy person, and
A busy
either
person.
they'll do it
and
themselves
get it
or
done.
ask somebody for help to finish it because that's just what we got to finish our stuff. So yeah.
it's amazing.
Yeah. So one of the-
actually, I'm so
So
sorry,
you're-
Emily. Go ahead.
So what you guys were talking about earlier, us, we work as a team, and we just kind of pick up where other people, we're when or if something happens in our lives and we just can't meet the commitment is, Ty. Ty was here the whole time. He was doing his stuff, and kind of last minute, some things in his life sort of blew up, and he's like, I got to take care of it. How do we do this, right? And so Michaela and I are like going, okay, he's got 3 sessions. We can do this. So we just split it up and we took care of it. And Ty, we're so grateful that you did the groundwork. And if you're out there listening, we are thankful for you.
We got you.
And
We got you.
we got you. And we hope that you can make it work next year because Dallas is pretty awesome.
Honestly, you guys, like doing the first year in person, it was what, Emily, you saw it. It was what, over 30 speakers in person, 3 venues. And then when we started doing it virtual, I was like, whew, okay.
Yeah.
So much better. This is great.
This is great.
Like
This is super
9,
easy.
10 I was like 10 speakers online. I don't have to go everywhere all over. Like, okay. It turned out, again, to be like a blessing in disguise. It works out way better for everyone.
Yeah.
Whether, COVID or not COVID. I mean, we can make our community bigger faster.
I really like the virtual aspect, because now we're not just limited to speakers in our own towns. Now we can bring our freelancers in your own respective cities, right? You can bring them national speakers or to hear from people from different cities. And I love having that different perspective and being able to bring them. So they're not always hearing the same voices over and over again, like especially in Kansas City, where we meet regularly all the time. So
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
But one of the advantages, though, on the flip side of that is when you have to do it in your city year after year, it also kind of makes you dig a little deeper because you kind of want to find those people that are hiding under a rock but have really, really awesome stuff to say. So going into next year where we're going to start playing with more of the hybrid space, I'm kind of excited about that. What that looks like.
And you guys
We'll
know,
figure it
like
out.
I promised myself I promised myself this year that I wouldn't have any repeat speakers, and I didn't. But I did have someone who wanted to present. She had a great talk, and she presented in person at our opening part, at our our kickoff party, and it worked. And actually, and tonight, if I may, because I do have to hop off in 5 to head over there. We have our closing party at the K House, which is a new co-working space. It's a BIPOC-owned space. It's also an art gallery. It's amazing. When we're going to have another speaker there. So Elizabeth Marino will talk about how to network like a pro at a networking event. So hopefully, people listen. But yeah, no, I'm going to hop off and do that in a minute. But like, we always just make it work. And if we do the hybrid thing, I mean, that's, the more the merrier. And we always have a way of making our stuff so it flows. It really does. And it's because we all support the same mission. We have the same types of personalities because we have the same end goal, right? So I'll get off my soapbox now.
As she steps down.
Literally.
Well, speaking of networking, aren't we going into this new Topia? Somebody talk about that.
You guys are. Yes. I'm sorry I won't be there.
All right. So, Livio, tell us a little bit about Topia. I mean, I love it. I know, and I know Kevin's kind of played with it a little bit. Julia, got into it, just jumped in and checked it out. Joe, you're probably familiar with it.
Yeah, for the record, any of you Firefox users, Topia does not work on Firefox, so use Chrome. I learned the hard way.
2%, to which I belong, of people that use Firefox. But Topia is basically this virtual. It's this virtual world building platform where you can basically have kind of video conference calls, but it kind of emulates a physical space. We built a little small world that's kind of simulates a physical conference. And you can literally talk to people based on proximity, and you can see like little groups of people going like around when everyone's networking. So it really emulates the sense of a physical space, and that's what makes it especially fun. So, we want to come hang out like almost like it's a real networking session. Like, please come to Topia and come talk to us, because honestly, we love our mission, and we love sharing our mission, and we'd love to talk to you, the people who are enjoying the fruits of this conference. So, but yeah, come to Topia.
Yeah.
The next session.
Come do it. The instructions are on the page itself. I just put the instructions in the discussion on this page itself. And so I'm thinking we got 2 or 3 minutes before we close this down and head over. Any last statements, words of wisdom or encouragement?
Legion of Freelancers, let's go.
You win.
Let's go. Yeah.
Was that the link? Can you share that again?
Yeah, let me go over. Yeah. Legion of Freelancers /who.com/who's in.
Who's in? That's it.
Who's in?
One of you
Y'all
guys.
sitting there like going, what do I name this?
Just practice saying it so you don't say like I did. Legion off what? Yeah.
Freelancers.
Yeah, I really
that
like
was
that.
the toughest part.
There's a typo.
It was the toughest part about hashtagging future of freelance, because it was like future off freelance, and I'm like, no, that's not it.
Yes. All right, guys. I'm out. I'm gonna finish my drink and meet you guys in Topia.
All right.
Great job,
Have a great
everyone.
night, you guys. Have a great night. Love you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Take care.